including our next guest, the chart-topping Vikas Kohli. Vikas.
Well, that's an obligation to be on Facebook now, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Because
do I have to post stuff on your wall and everything now?
You do have to post stuff on our wall. You have to say, what a fun time you've had on South Asian Focus TV.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what's funny? The last time you got my feet tapping.
Right.
Yeah. And now that you've come on the show, you know what? Half of Europe's tapping to your music. What's all that about?
Well, it's I owe that to one of the artists I'm working with. Her name's Jennifer Abadesso.
Right.
She's a great new artist. Is coming out with some new material, and it's kind of a funny story because we're in the studio working on this track.
Yeah.
And she comes in, we sit down, she sings the parts, I pick up my guitar, we sort of run through it, and within about an hour we've got this song done. And then we just move into production, which takes more than an hour. That takes a lot.
Really?
But in the process, we also thought, why don't we put Moka Only on this track? And I worked with him before, so I called him up and said, you want to be on the track? He's like, sure, that sounds good.
Okay.
And then completely on a whim, Jennifer, she'd toured Europe before, so she sent it to some of her contacts in Europe.
Right.
And next week she emails me saying, oh, by the way, we're charting in Paris and we're on Luxembourg radio and we're in Portugal.
Right.
And then the following week she emails me and says, oh, we hit #1 in Paris.
Right.
So it's cool. I owe that to Jennifer and her good songwriting. I just, do what I do. I don't know what I do.
No, you're being too modest, man.
No, I just hang out. The artists show up. I hit record, and they make the hits.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'd love to come to the studio one day and see how it goes.
We're going to make that country/rap album, right?
Really?
Yeah. You said you wanted to wear a cowboy hat, and I told you I always wanted to make an album with cowbell. So, but no one likes country in the city, so we figured hip hop is the way to go.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even know. Do South Asians like country, man?
You know what? Actually, there's a funny story. A couple months ago, there's a ghazal and bhajan singer that was touring. He's an Indian singer.
Right.
He was touring through the States, and he came by, dropped by the studio. We literally just had cha and samosa, and then I asked him what he wanted to do for his next album, and he said, I really want to do something with Indian classical and country. Immediately, I said, put down your samosa, come down to the studio, because I happen to have a country track that I had finished the music for, but I didn't have vocals for.
Right.
And so he started working on vocals. This is completely off topic. It's not in your notes. I know. We're not supposed to talk about
That's fine. And hey, spontaneity is the name of the game.
That's it. But it's true story. So there is actually a Fat Labs country Indian classical music track in the works. It'll be out there, and I'm sure CBC will love it because it's multicultural, Indian yet Canadian.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If I work in conjunction with you, I'm going to introduce an Indian jazz element.
Oh, that's no problem.
That sounds exciting. But you know what? I'm loving this talk about samosas and everything. Yeah. But you know what? Let's get back to the song. Did you think the #1 that's creating a rage in Europe right now? Actually, you know what? Let's have a quick look at the clip, and then maybe we'll talk a bit more about the song.
This is a clip of Jen in the studio laying down some vocals.
It's your man Moka Only right here. Jennifer Abadesso. Let's go. Fat Labs on production. Here we go. Here we go.
I wouldn't know what you did to me. And did you think I wasn't smart enough to see where you thought wrong? I carried on, and I'm gonna keep being strong. Oh baby, you are a page in my history.
Is that right?
See, you get me tapping all the time. I don't know how you do it.
I think you might have had a couple of drinks before the show. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? Diksha loves it when you come on. You always get me energized and tapping.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you know what? I have to ask you. You're such an inspiration for me, at least, and many music lovers out here. The fact that you're producing music in Mississauga, and the next thing you know, you have a hit in Europe. Right. Is there any sense of overwhelm? Like, are you overwhelmed by this?
It's just, you know what? It's funny because I make tracks in the studio day after day with all sorts of different artists, and I never really know what's going to happen, if they're going to be well received or not, and it's just every time something is well received, I think it's just really cool. And what I think was cool about this was, we hit some countries that I never hit before.
Right.
So, and again, that's thanks to Jennifer's songwriting and her past touring.
Be honest with me, you didn't even know Luxembourg existed, did you?
I still don't know it exists. I actually think, I don't believe it. Like, really, have you ever met anyone from Luxembourg?
No.
There's a reason.
Hey, you know what? It has one of the highest standards of livings in Europe.
Yeah, Snuffleupagus comes from Luxembourg.
Okay.
Just
if you say so.
Yeah. That's why you've never met anyone from there.
Yeah.
All your listeners are going to think I'm a little off now, just randomly speaking in weird tangents. But
no, it's all fun.
But yeah, no, it was definitely cool when the track hit like that. And actually, we just started a new program. I teamed up with a company called Landed Entertainment.
Okay.
And this is, how do you get the song from studio to chart in Europe or something like that? Right. With Landed Entertainment, we launched something called Build Your Band, which is to help the artists go from coming in the studio, making the music, and then also then taking care of CD manufacturing, the photo shoot, a video production, kind of giving them a whole package that they can then roll with. And then hopefully more artists, when they come to the studio, they'll end up then charting in another country somewhere around the world. The more countries, the better, right?
That's fantastic. Now, for someone who's been doing this for so long, it's kind of weird asking you about the learning process. But I think even now there's a lot of room to learn, isn't there? Yeah,
actually, to be honest, things never stop improving and changing and learning, because there's, on the one hand, the creative side of learning, which is, personally, I'm always trying to understand more about genres of music that I know nothing about and instruments that I know nothing about, so that I can bring something new and creative to the table when the artist comes in the studio. Like, for instance, in the next track that we finished for Jennifer, we put some Chinese instruments in there. And
interesting.
I'm Indian, she's Portuguese, but we put some Chinese music production in there, and it's all it's an English song. But it was just, what can we do to make it unusual? And then that's on the creative side. Then on the technological side, well, everything keeps, I think the computer stat says computer power doubles every 18 months. So my Pro Tools system is outdated in 18 months, and then I upgrade and get new software and all sorts of new tricks. And obviously we can see what technology does for music. T-Pain and auto-tune, right?
Yeah.
I think 99% of all pop tracks out there had auto-tune on in the past year. And so someone will invent a cool new program.
I'm not going to pretend I understood that.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what T-Pain sounds like, right? So, but yeah, and then I'm sure next year there'll be some cool new music studio production gadget that comes out, and for the next year, every hit on the radio will have that sound. So, but that forces you to just keep moving forward and stay current with the times.
Absolutely. Well, Vikas, we're having a ball talking again to you, and we'll continue the fun conversation after a short break. Once again, I'll remind all of viewers, do join us on our Facebook group. Look up South Asian Focus TV on Facebook, and you can even see Vikas on there, right, Vikas?
That's right.
Absolutely. So we'll see you after a short break. As usual, you can email us at southasianfocustv@rci.rogers.com.